Okay, so we're going to dismantle the gearbox now. I'm going to put some tissue down. I know there's going to be some more of the bits coming off. So I've put the quadrant into neutral. You can lever it up and down with a screwdriver. So that's in neutral. So I think this pinion, oh yeah. So it's the kickstart. I think that's first gear that comes off the main shaft. So that's off the lay shaft. So that's that off the first gear, I think, off the lay shaft, and first gear off the main shaft. And I'm putting them down on the bench, and I'm putting them face outwards, is face up, because I'm going to take some photos when I put these when I got them all out, and to give me a better chance of getting them back in the right order. So with those two out, I should now be able to unscrew the selector fork shaft. Got 5/16. Doesn't want to come. Got it. So I've undone the selector fork shaft, and so that should just pull out now. There we go. That screws into the back of the gearbox. So then I take second gear, I think, off the gearbox. That's the main shaft. And with its fork, that will be second gear off the lay shaft. Okay, I've got a so there's a circlip on the back of the main shaft, and I think I've got to take this circlip off before I can slide the main shaft out. Right, so I've got the circlip off the end of the main shaft, which didn't want to come off at all. But now I've got these gears out, then the main shaft, I think, should now just come straight out. Main shaft out. So this, I think, will be third gear. And the selector fork. Aha, yeah. And it looks like I found the source of all that broken, all that brass that was in the bottom, in the oil. It looks like it's something on the main gear is broken up there. I can see it. It's got, why won't they? I can't get the main. Why won't the lay shaft come out? Yeah. If in doubt, give it a tap. So that's forced the lay shaft. Second, third gear. Come on. Fourth gear. And indeed the lay shaft itself has now come out. It was just tight in the bearing at the end. And then I should get high gear, yeah, fourth gear out on the main shaft. And you can see there quite clearly that the phosphor bronze bush that is in the main shaft has been the edge of it has been annihilated. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. I need to investigate that. It looks like maybe the bush has tried to work its way out of the gear and has then been destroyed. But you can see this edge here. You can see it all there. That's all the remains of the edge of that phosphor bronze high gear bush. So that was the cause of all that material that I found in the oil earlier on. So that's good. I'm so it's good. I'm glad we found the sort of the problem, the cause, the source of all that material, and also knowing that the gearbox was well due for its rebuild. So just looking inside there, we've still got a fair bit of oil to get out. We've got the cam plate. I'll take that out in a minute. And then we've got the main shaft bearing here, the main output bearing there, which is actually not too bad considering there's probably flakes of phosphor bronze in there. And then the all-important main shaft rear bearing down there, which is the one that gives us all the problems because it's well known it's prone to fail, and that can cause all sorts of problems. So we'll be replacing both of those. I've replaced the layshaft bearing anyway. Yeah, it is that layshaft bearing. It is a Portuguese bearing because I can see that it says Portugal. You probably can't see that, but upside down at the bottom of the layshaft bearing, it clearly says Portugal. So it's a Portuguese bearing, and I think it's those layshaft bearings in particular that are prone, or reputedly prone to failure. So I'd be replacing that anyway, but we'll replace all the bearings in the gearbox because of all that stuff that's been floating around in there, which obviously will almost certainly have damaged the bearings, if nothing else. So let's have a look. I'll see if I can encourage. I'll take the cam plate out now and the quadrant. So these two bolts on the side, they hold the quadrant that selects the gears, and the actual cam plate itself, and the yoke's running, and then that holds the cam plate in position. That's the cam plate plunger, which pokes up there and goes on the edge of the cam plate there, and makes sure the cam plate stays, locks it into gear. The cam plate rotates around and clicks into a groove which corresponds to a gear or neutral. Okay, good. We've got it apart anyway, and what I'm going to do on the end there, I've got all the what's names over here. Get the right. I've got all the gears and that over here, and the selector forks. And what I'll do is I'm just going to take a photo of them all for my benefit, so that when I come to put them back on, I put them down on the bench all facing outwards. So when I come to put them back on, at least I've got a fighting chance of getting them on in the right order, on the right layshaft, on the right shaft, and the right way round, which always helps. Okay, right. I'm just going to clean. I'll take those nuts, these mountings off, so I can get the cam plate out. Get the cam plate out, the quadrant, and the plunger.